Millions of Indians across India and across the world had been praying that the lone survivor of last week's devastating helicopter tragedy that had taken the lives of the Chief of Defence Staff and many others would pull through. He had been pulled from the wreckage alive, but only barely. And as a billion prayers went up for Group Captain Varun Singh, there was every hope for a miracle. And it has truly broken our hearts to bring to you here on India Today that he passed away this morning after a whole week of fighting his grievous injuries. Rest in glory, Group Captain Varun Singh. Heartbreak for the nation. India loses another brave heart that we'd all been praying for. The lone survivor of the devastating Coonoor chopper crash, Group Captain Varun Singh, has breathed his last. Shattering a billion prayers for his recovery. Rescued from the burning wreckage of the December 8th chopper accident, the Group Captain had suffered grievous burn injuries. He had been airlifted to the Air Force Command Hospital in Bengaluru from Wellington. Despite advanced medical care, life support, skin grafts, and battling for life for 7 long days, the extent of his injuries had proven too much for the brave heart to surmount. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, top dignitaries, and the Indian Air Force mourned the tragic loss. Modi said Group Captain Varun Singh had served the nation with pride, valor, and utmost professionalism, and his rich service to the nation would never be forgotten.
ग्रुप कैप्टन वरुण सिंह हम सब के बीच में नहीं रहे। हम सब जानते हैं कि वो देश सेवा में हमेशा तल्लीन रहे और उनका वह एक्सीडेंट के पश्चात जीवन से के लिए जूझ रहे थे और दुख भरी खबर हमको मिली। मैं ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे।
A pall of gloom has settled on his grieving family, friends, and armed forces who'd been hoping for a miracle.
वो अब नहीं रहा। 8 दिनों तक वो बहादुरी के साथ जीवन मृत्यु से लड़ता रहा। अंत में वो उसे परास्त नहीं कर पाया और शहीद हो गया।
The other 13 passengers on that ill-fated Mi-17 V5 chopper included India's first Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, his wife Madhulika Rawat, and many other service personnel. A 13th family now joins the group of the grieving, and the entire nation stands with them. Blue Skies Group Captain Varun Singh, we salute you. Bureau Report, India Today. And with this Tiranga on his helmet, this was Group Captain Varun Singh's second favorite place inside a fighter cockpit. That's him walking towards an LCA Tejas fighter jet for flights that he loved so much. Beautiful Tiranga fighter helmet that he always wore. This was a famous selfie of Group Captain Varun Singh that we are so proud to bring to you, because this was the officer truly in his element. And the reason I say his second favorite place is because his favorite place was, of course, with his wife and his 2 little children. He was a family man and a committed soldier, and we've lost him. And now it is my privilege and pride to also bring to you a letter that Group Captain Varun Singh had written to his school principal just a few days after his act of saving an LCA Tejas fighter jet had won him India's 3rd highest gallantry award, the Saurya Chakra. I've shared this letter on social media as well. Please share it with your children if they are in high school. Don't miss it. Group Captain Varun Singh was a true braveheart with an illustrious career. The decorated officer had been awarded with a Saurya Chakra this August for averting a possible mid-air accident when his Tejas light combat aircraft developed a major technical snag last year. A glimpse into why we call him a hero and what makes him a true inspiration. Group Captain Varun Singh, the only survivor of the horrific chopper crash, is no more. Every single one of us had been hoping and praying for the hero's recovery. And as he fought another battle for survival, we now grieve his demise. But we also pay tribute. Here's a glimpse into why we call him a hero. A glimpse into what made him a true inspiration. This is a letter that Group Captain Varun Singh wrote just a few months ago, right after he was awarded the Saurya Chakra on Independence Day. This is a letter he wrote to his school about motivation, hard work and success. I want to share some thoughts about life, which I feel may help and inspire children who might feel that they are meant to be only mediocre in this hyper-competitive world. It is okay to be mediocre. Not everyone will excel at school and not everyone will be able to score in the 90s. You may be mediocre in school, but it is by no means a measure of things to come in life. Find your calling. Whatever you work towards, be dedicated, do your best. Never go to bed thinking, I could have put in more effort. Never lose hope. Never think that you cannot be good at what you want to be. It will not come easy. It will take effort. It will require sacrifice of time and comfort. I was mediocre, and today I have reached difficult milestones in my career. Do not think that the 12th board marks decide what you are capable of achieving in life. Believe in yourself, work towards it. If I am able to inspire even one child to believe in himself or herself, I would have achieved my objective of writing to you. With heartfelt humility and gratitude, yours sincerely, Varun Singh. He was the sole survivor of that devastating tragedy, and now he is gone. It's blue skies for Group Captain Varun Singh. I want to bring in India Today's Gaurav Sawant, who's been with me over the last 7 days, tracking the aftermath of this terrible, terrible disaster, and now the tragedy of the 14th person on board that helicopter also losing his life. Gaurav, we've paid tribute to Group Captain Varun Singh. In many ways, it had been hoped that by some miracle he would pull through, not just for his family and for the Air Force, but also in one way, because he would have been a person who would perhaps be able to throw light over what happened in this unthinkable, terrible, terrible accident. But for our viewers and for everyone watching, all of these families are owed the truth about what happened, Gaurav. Can you tell us where the investigation is? How close is this Tri-Service Court of Inquiry to arriving at an answer for what happened on December the 8th?
Shiv, it's just the first few steps that have been taken so far in terms of the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. They are being analyzed. Information from that is being analyzed. There was hope that the Group Captain Varun Singh, himself a fighter pilot, of course the directing staff at Defence Services Staff College in his current avatar, he would be able to pull through, and sharing information with him, or him sharing information perhaps would have been extremely major in taking this inquiry forward. But now there will be tremendous reliance not just on the FDR and the CVR cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder, but also the last conversation the pilots had. Now, Shiv, very painstakingly, all the information in terms of who serviced the Hepta, when was the helicopter serviced, when was its last flight, who was in charge of security, how was the helicopter kept secure, the last communication between base and the Hepta. All of that, Shiv, is being analysed, and as you have reported yourself, Air Marshal Manvendra Singh himself, a very accomplished helicopter pilot, someone who survived several such very, very difficult situations, being a Hepta pilot himself. Well, he will be going through with a tri-services team of the Army, Navy and the Air Force, and then arrive, and should there be a need, Shiv, they will also reach out to the OEM or the original equipment manufacturer to get to the bottom of this. So perhaps soon we shall know the preliminary reasons, and then an actual detailed inquiry to tell us more about the crash.
And it's a promise both from Gaurav and myself and all of us journalists here on India Today that we are not going to let go of this story. We'll be reporting every aspect of the investigation until there is closure, until the families, the public, the Air Force, the Army have the truth about how such an unthinkable tragedy could have happened. Gaurav, thank you very much for throwing light on where things are at right now. We will always remember Group Captain Varun Singh. Blue skies for the brave pilot, soldier and officer.